Hey guys, welcome to our channel. In today's video is we're gonna learn about how to use HTML and CSS in Visual Studio Code. So we're gonna go ahead and try to learn how to use the HTML and CSS in the Visual Studio Code program. But the first thing that we'll need to do is we'll try to set up first the Visual Studio Code onto our own device. So you'll just need to head first onto your local browser since we need to install that one. So you need to search a Visual Studio Code for that. So once you're already here, we're gonna go ahead and click onto Visual Studio Code in here so that we're gonna go ahead and see the different details that it offers. So as you can see, this is what it will look like. And also, for us to be able to download it, there is a download option in here. So if you're actually trying to download it for Windows, this is the user installation for that. Mac OS, this one, and Linux. So we're gonna go ahead and click onto this blue button since we're using Windows. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But if you're using another, you could go ahead and do that. So as you can see here, onto getting started in here, if you're actually not familiar with this one, so there is actually a definition for that. So as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and start download for that one, and we'll wait for it to be downloaded. So if you're not familiar with Visual Studio Code, it is actually a lightweight but powerful source code editor which runs on your desktop and is available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So it comes with built-in support for JavaScript, TypeScript, and Node.js, and has a rich ecosystem of extension for other languages and runtimes. So these offer such as C++, C Sharp, Java, Python, PHP, Go, and .NET. So you could begin your journey with VS Code using the introductory videos that they have in here, or we'll just have to wait for that one. So we're gonna go ahead and delve onto it step by step once we have downloaded it. So as you can see, this is what it looks like if Visual Studio Code is in action. So these are the different top extension. We're gonna go ahead and delve onto also different extensions that we could use for HTML and CSS, and we're gonna go ahead and wait for that since we're gonna go ahead and set up or install VS Code onto the platform once it is already downloaded. So we'll just have to wait for that one. Now, as you can see, once it is already downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and try to install it first. So we're gonna go ahead and locate the file first. And we're gonna go ahead and right click onto that and click onto run as administrator to download this. So we're gonna go ahead and try to do that, just following the prompts. Now for the first part, it will go ahead and try to show the setup system where it shows the license agreement. So you'll just need to read through that. And once you have gone through all of the agreement, and if you have agree, you'll just have to click onto accept the agreement and click onto next. Now there are additional tasks that you could do to be performed. So you could add in or add or create a desktop icon. So you'll just have to click onto that, or there are other options as well, like add open with code action to Windows Explorer file context menu, or add open with code action to Windows Explorer directory context menu, and register code as an editor for supported file types, and also add to path, which requires shells pre-start. So we're gonna go ahead and just click what are already clicked. We'll just leave it as it is, click onto next, and then right after to the app is already ready to install. So setup is now ready to begin installing Visual Studio Code in your computer. So we're gonna go ahead and click on to install to continue with installation, or click back to review or change any settings. So these are the additional tasks that we have added. We're gonna go ahead and click on to install for that, and then we'll wait for this one to be finished setting up. And once the setup or the installation is complete, so this is what it should look like. So actually, it has finished installing Visual Studio Code in your computer, and the application may be launched by selecting the installed shortcut. So as you can see, the shortcut that we have in here is once we click onto finish, it will go ahead and launch Visual Studio Code. So we're gonna click onto finish, and we'll wait for it to be launched. Now the next thing that we'll need to do once we're already in here onto Visual Studio Code is we'll head here onto the extension. So there are different things in here. So actually we have the files here onto the upper part, the edit button, selection, view, go, and if you want to run the code, we have that, the three dots ran. It's just like an extension of this. We have the terminal and help for that one. Now for us to be able to proceed, so there are also an explorer in here, search, source control, or run and debug. So we'll need to head onto extension. So we need to find something here onto the extension that we're gonna use, which is very helpful. So we're gonna search in here, code runner. So this is actually what we're gonna use, or which is very helpful onto running C, C++, Java, JS, PHP, Python, and many more. So this is actually the one. So this is from Junhan. We're gonna go ahead and click onto that. And for us to be able to use that, we're gonna go ahead and try to click onto install. So this could run code snippet or code file for multiple languages such as C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and many more. So you could also see what it should look like in here. Also the WeChat account, some donation if you want to give them, and the usages or some step-by-step guide on how to run a code using Code Runner in here. So there are different things in here as well as their configuration. So you'll just need to read through this so that you'll have a detail on how this one should work. So as you can see, there are also about CWD settings in here, some notes, telemetry data, change log, and contribution. And for us to be able to use this extension is we're going to go ahead and click on to install for that one. So as you can see, do you trust the authors of the files in this workspace? So enabling this extension requires a trusted workspace. So if you do not trust the author of this file, they don't recommend continuing as the files may be malicious. So you could see the documents in here to learn more, and we could just go ahead and click trust workspace and install for that one. So we'll just have to wait for that one to be installed. So we're gonna go ahead and try to search in here, auto rename tag. So this is actually the next one that we're gonna go ahead and delve into. So as you can see, this is the one that we're gonna use, the first one. So we're gonna click onto that. And as you can see in here, this is the auto rename paired by HTML or XML tag. So you could go ahead and automatically rename the paired HTML or XML tag, same as Visual Studio IDE does. So here are some of its sponsors in here, the contributors and the features. So when you rename one HTML or XML tag, it will automatically rename the paired HTML or XML tag. So as you can see, just like this. So if you want to go ahead and try to change this part and this part as well, so you don't have to worry onto changing it manually, since it will go ahead and also change the other parts of it that is actually the same for that. So just like this, it changed it to test type. So that is basically it on how to use the auto rename tag. So for configuration for that, it is actually available here onto the extension. You'll just need to add entry into auto rename tag dot activation and language to set the language that the extension will be activated. And by the default, it is actually this icon, which is asterisk, and will be activated for all language. So as you can see, this is what it should look like for that. So this one. Now, actually also in here, the settings should be set with language ID defined in VS Code, taking JavaScript definition as an example for that. So these are different notes that it offers, changelog the issues, and some of its contributions. Now the next extension, so we're gonna go ahead and head in here and try to search HTML and tag label. So this is the next extension that we're going to delve into. So actually this is the first one. So we're going to click onto that. And as you can see, this labels HTML and tags in VS Code. So this is the feature that it offers. So there are actually some labels in here onto which of the code is ended so that you'll have a guide. So this is actually very helpful if your code is very long. So it would be helpful to you to try to sort out which one is this ending for so that you don't miss a thing for that. So as you can see, you can change the theme colors for that, also for the settings in here. So you need to follow settings that are deprecated and will be removed in a future release. So you could use theme colors instead for that, the name and the description, and some release notes for HTML and tag labels. And lastly, we have here the extension, which is the highlight matching tag. So we're gonna go ahead and try to search that one in here, matching tag. And you should be able to see different options in here. So we're gonna go ahead and try to use the first one that we have in here. So these will highlight matching closing and opening tags. So these are very helpful as well, since it will gonna go ahead and highlight you the opening or closing tag. So optionally, it also shows a path to tag in the status bar. And even though VS Code has some basic tag matching already, it's just that basic. So this extension will try to match tags anywhere from tag attributes inside of strings, any files, while also providing extensive styling options to customize how tags are highlighted. So these officially supported markups are HTML, JSX, other flavors like XML, Vue, Angular, PHP. This should work as well, but there are no guarantees. So just feel free to report if there are any issues on the way for that one. So as you can see, here are some of the extension settings that we have in here, the styling option, custom styling in here, and many more. So you'll just need to read that, and you'll just need to go ahead and try to install the different extensions that we mentioned earlier so that you could go ahead and make the most out of your Visual Studio Code, and you could use it better for your HTML and CSS code. And if you think this has been helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you on your next video.